Hey, it's time to crank up the truth. I'm Val Selby, and over the decades of working online, I've learned a most important lesson. Mindset owns your business. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then I'm here with Val Full Volume, ready to help you see choices that you're making. Get ready to own your personality and use your expertise to create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. So let's get to it. Hello, I'm so happy you are here again today. Wow. That's all I've got is wow. So do you ever have those times? I'm saying that completely facetiously. I know you do. Those times where you've got major decisions and major things going on, and like every day you're just feeling the overwhelm and the anxiety build a little bit more and a little bit more, and not in an exciting, good way. That's where I'm hitting right now, and I'm paying attention. I know part of when it hits, it means I am going in the right direction, but also I'm just being really aware that my mind is just totally fucking with me. It is just grabbing a hold of everything. And, and I'm literally talking this through with you right now because I was in the shower going, oh God, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. And I'm like, I feel myself holding my breath. And you know what happens when you hold your breath and you have anxiety and you're overwhelmed? It gets worse because then your body's going, holy shit, we can't breathe. And it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm like, all right, breathe. Do we really have that much that has to get done today? No. Are we going to enjoy our day today? Yes, we are. Let's put a CBD patch on. We'll start with that. How about we enjoy our damn shower because our toes were cold. So that's why we were jumping in the shower. How about we enjoy the things about today that we're going to enjoy? Like, let me just give you a giant sarcastic example. I am having the shittiest life of sitting here recording this podcast from a resort on a lake with a gorgeous view of the lake and nothing but sunshine. Really? Can my day really be that bad? No, it cannot. And my day is set up so that I can go and do stuff. I'm doing the laptop lifestyle here for the last couple of weeks, and I know that that's starting to wear on me as well. Not having my place, like even this is the first time I've packed up all of my podcast stuff. I mean, I'm like all of a sudden going, wow, okay, I do love this. But if this is going to be a thing, like my work stuff is going to need its own bag. Not a bad thing, but it's just like, I've never had this experience before. And it's just like, how are we going to get everything done? Oh my gosh, people keep coming into the hotel room. How can I get everything done? And especially when I'm just in this further transition. When you're reading my emails, you know that we had a major trauma. We had a close death. My husband's department, super surprised. He was only 45. So you sit there and you're just like, what do I want? What do I want my days to look like? And yesterday I started recording a podcast. I was halfway through and my husband walked in the hotel because he doesn't check his text messages. Speaking of which, I guess I should check my phone right now because I did not set it to silent. He didn't check his text messages. And next thing you know, I'm like, really? and I think that that's what started building it, was not having my own space. I don't know when somebody's going to come in the room, even if I put the do not disturb up, or there's different weird noises, or, it's not my space. And I didn't realize how difficult weeks. We've been traveling way more than we have ever. And like I said, it's a good thing, but it's just really different for getting work done at the same time. And especially transitioning like I am to being a little bit more focused in absolutely a direction that I've been working, but just getting really more focused. So that's totally what I want to talk to you about today, because the jumbleness in my head right this minute needs to come out. And I know that you could be exactly in the same spot I am. I was looking at this whole concept of the joking that I've always done of I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And I started like really looking at that phrase. And how does it make me feel when that phrase pops into my head? And it makes me feel like shit. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So that makes me feel like a failure. And I don't mean it like I'm beating myself up. I just mean like there's the ick factor because I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And in the email I sent out last week, it must have been last week, I had written in there, not what I want to be when I grow up, but what do I want to be for a while as I'm growing up? And all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, that gives me permission to change. Just that change of the phrase makes me feel like I have permission to change, to adapt. Now, looking back, I know the big thing is, I come from a blue collar background. So blue collar background, you have a job, you work that job forever until you retire. Hopefully you get to enjoy some retirement, but that's it. You get that good job with the good benefits, and whether you like it or not, it's that good paycheck that's coming home steady, and you're going to do it forever. And I know that I was pretty much led to believe there was no other option except to go to college. And I get it because, my parents wanted better for us. So that was the next step for making it better at that time, right? Was okay, so don't go into blue collar work, go to college. And the whole, what do you want to be when you grow up starts then, right? At 18. Now, at 49 and 7/8 or whatever, right? At almost 50, I'm like looking at it. I knew when my kids were going to college, I could even just remember that feeling of how am I going to choose a college to get the degree that's going to improve my life, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Now, thankfully, we were not huge on you had to go this direction. We were not huge on that direction. Now, if they didn't know what direction they wanted, we did want them to go to community college. Absolutely. So that maybe they could kind of play around and figure some stuff out, or maybe go to tech or, any of that. We were not pushing in any one direction. So our daughter did go to college. And the wonderful thing is we have a lot of friends who got their degree, and none of them are working in what they got their degree in. None of them. So it took the pressure off of her of thinking, oh my God, I have to pick it. I have to pick the right one. What she picked and how that turned out is a completely different story. But she's using that degree and not even close to working in what her degree was with. But the degree did help. So I'm glad that we did obviously instill that in them, that you don't have to pick something and stay with it forever. You can continue to look for something that's going to improve your life. And I'm not going to go down the kids route. So we'll just leave it there. But why do I not take that in better for myself? And I know it's because that's just how we were brought up. We were brought up in that you do this all the way to retirement. I have not had a single career except for being a mom. That was my career, that I stayed in one different thing. So that's why sometimes I drive myself a little bit bonkers, because I'm like, why am I doing this again? Why am I feeling like I can't change? Or, oh God, the word I hate the most, pivot, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm pivoting. I have one foot still strongly in what I have been doing. I'm just getting a little bit more focused. So I'm just shifting just a little bit. I'm probably going to drop a little bit of what I'm doing with my services, but I'm pivoting into harder core, the things I love about the service that I'm already offering. So I don't mean to be cryptic. I'm going directly into partnerships. I'm going directly into the networking and becoming a JV partnership manager. It's like job shadowed. I've been getting my certification with Marie Mac. I was just shadowing some calls with her and I went, oh my God, this is already what I do and I can get paid for it. Wow. Wow. You're like head smack, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But the transition is just like, and here, this total squirrel conversation, obviously. One thing that I know I'm paying attention to right now is old me has jumped into things with no plan and just head over heels, right? Just absolute head over heels. I'm going to go and change direction. And it would be a total change direction, right? So I'm not talking about a pivot. I'm talking about, okay, I'm going to go create a brand new site and this is not even close to what I'm doing kind of thing. So I stopped doing that. I decided, okay, we're going to stop. We're going to put some thought. We're going to do some planning. We're going to do the opposite of what we've been doing. We're going to try something different, right? And that at times led me to a lot of inaction because I would like get an idea and I'd go to run with it. And then I'd be like, oh gosh, wait, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to put a plan in place. And unfortunately, a lot of the time I'd get the plan in place and then I'd like lose interest or it didn't sound as fun anymore. And I know as I'm listening to the words coming out of my mouth, I'm like, really? Are you sure you're a business coach? Yes, I swear to God I am. But there's extremes. And when you're either extreme, nothing gets done. And depending on your personality, either one of the extremes is going to be your usual go-to, and it can work. Like for me, right now, I need to jump. This needs to be a jump for me. This can't be a sit here and plan it out. This is next week. Let's say I think it's Wednesday. This will come out next Tuesday. Next week, my plan is by the time you're hearing this, I'm already going to have some clients. I'm going to just jump. It's because it's not something I'm not already doing. I don't have to go and research it more. I just got my certification. I've already been doing this for years. I just didn't have a fancy title. Now I'll have a fancy title and I just need to jump. I don't need web pages. I don't need a sales page. I don't need any of that stuff. I just need to have a chat with different people. So in this case, I need to jump because it would be really easy. And my mind had already started going there. Okay, well, we're not doing that anymore. We're trying something new. Like, nope, that didn't work for me. The over planning did not work for me. It's not how my brain loves to work. I do like some fire. I do like, obviously, you're here listening to this conversation. I'm a squirrel. My brain likes to squirrel. So as long as I'm squirreling in the correct direction for right now, it will be great. But I don't need to sit down and write out a plan, find a URL, create a new website. I don't need that for this business. I don't even need to add a page to my valsalby.com. I don't have to do that right now. I don't have to make it difficult. I just need to shift and have conversations. And now my brain is like trying to stop me from doing that. It's like, oh, are we moving too quickly again? Are we going to do the same thing that we always do? We go gung ho and then we don't put all the things in place. And then next thing we know, things aren't working and then we're pissed off. And no, that's not happening. Okay. It's not happening. I'm not going to allow it to happen. I've obviously learned a lot in my growth that I've been really focused on in the last few years. So I know why I was doing certain things. I know why I was not following through. And I think right now, this is my personal test of, okay, what have you learned? And what are you not going to do anymore? What are you going to do instead? So what I'm going to do instead is take what I do know and just run with it. Just run with it and see where it goes. See what awesome new clients, possibly not new, because I'm obviously going to go hit people that I already know, that I've already built relationships with. So Are you getting stuck in the whole, what do you want to be when you grow up? Is that like me? You're like looking at it going, oh God, this is what we do. I decided my business was going to be this. So now I have to make it work. I have to make it work or I'm a failure. How about, oh gosh, this is all going to sound so coachy. I apologize already. How about if you're not passionate about whatever you're doing in your business right now, you take a look at what's going right and what you do like in that business right now, and maybe just make some little tweaks. Maybe just do some little changes. See how that helps. See how that works. I know quite a few people that I'm working with, they really love doing the workshops, especially since I'm really in the PLR world. I know some people are really tired of creating tons and tons and tons of PLR. It's lost the fun for them and they just feel like they're just a machine, but they're loving doing the workshops. So what if you switch to that and you're doing more workshops and you're sharing what you know? It's super fun to share what you know. Super fun. I love teaching things that I know, that I've learned. And especially if you do live classes, because then I get to learn as well, because there's going to be things that didn't pop in my head, obviously. So, all right, I'm going to continue my growth. I'm going to continue working on the fact that I can change my business. As I learn new things, I get to take what I've learned and adapt and change and grow. And so do you. All right, I will chat at you next week. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for listening to Val Full Volume. If you are done spinning in circles and procrastinating, check out my quick workshop, 14 Biz Actions. Action creates change. Now go out there and create the biz of your dreams.